Developing a good wrestling gimmick is a tricky task to accomplish. The audience will either love it or completely hate it. Superstars usually go through a few different gimmicks before finding the perfect one. And today, we're going to go over some of those shocking ones that didn't really make the cut. Before we dive in, it's trivia time! A current female superstar initially debuted at NXT as an Ice Princess Fairy character. Do you know who that was? Comment below, and make sure to hit that like button for it to really work.
No.
Liv Morgan has that pop-punk style, and we absolutely love her for it. But did you know that her television debut was nothing like the Liv we all know and love today? We first saw her in 2015 at NXT Rival, where she played the role of a crazed Tyler Breeze fan who jumped the barricade and interrupted the superstar's entrance. Later that year, the juvenile delinquent made her in-ring debut against Eva Marie.
Hey, oh, what security is this? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Carmella went through a lot of phases. First, she debuted at NXT as a former hairdresser. She then went on to become the Miss Money in the Bank. Also, who could forget the dance break gimmick, where she would do the floss, like a lot, to the point where I couldn't tell if I was watching WWE or playing Fortnite. And now, she's the most beautiful woman in WWE. Well before debuting, she tried on the gimmick of a mime, where she would try to impress the officials by doing mime things. But we never got to see it on TV, thank God.
Love that for her.
In 2016, the footage of Cody Rhodes' canceled gimmick from 2014 was released. The character Cody portrays in the video is quite similar to Tony Stark, a rich businessman, or, as referred to by his wife Eden,
a diplomatic icon in Egypt. He is an international superstar.
The screen test also features a Rhodes Industries logo, which is almost identical to Stark Industries. This most likely took place before the character of Stardust was developed, but to be honest, we're kind of invested in this one.
Hello? What are we missing here?
From 2008, Maryse started portraying a mean, self-obsessed French Canadian who would flip her hair like no one else could. But at a certain point during her career, WWE writers were thinking of switching things up for her. In 2010, Maryse was in a feud with Eve Torres, and it was speculated that, in that feud, it would be revealed that Maryse was actually in love with her nemesis. That would explain the diva's anger towards Eve, as the romance would not be mutual.
I've never seen you look so good.
In 2008, Katie Lee and Paul Burchill debuted together, and during their first segment, they seemed a bit close to each other. Nothing crazy here, just a couple being a couple. Or so we thought. The moment Katie referred to Paul as her brother is the moment everyone's jaw dropped. And while it was never explicitly said that they're in love, they did seem to be very comfortable with each other, and lines such as "my beautiful brother" didn't help the situation at all.
The most beautiful man in the world, my big brother Paul.
Thankfully, this storyline dropped quite quickly.
If John Cena came out with me and my brother, he'd be having a lot more than just a little fun.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Everyone knows and recognizes the Undertaker's name, wrestling fan or not, so it's kind of bizarre to think there was a slight chance of the dead man's iconic gimmick not happening. It was initially planned that the Undertaker would play the role of the Gobbledy Gooker, but WWE thankfully decided to not go through with the plan. Instead, the ridiculous mascot was portrayed by someone else, and Taker went on to develop the character that made his entire career.
The Gobbledy Gooker, right? I'm gonna be Eggman. Oh, and I'm a nervous wreck, right?
In 2008, Alicia Fox made her main roster debut as a wedding planner for Edge and Vicky Guerrero's wedding. It was later revealed that Edge was having an affair with Alicia, and after the storyline concluded, the former Divas champion made her wrestling debut as a disco dancer along with her partner, DJ Gabriel. The fact of her being a wedding planner at some point was never mentioned again. Her debut match took place on ECW against Katie Lee Burchill, accompanied by his brother? Oh no, not this again.
Every brother loves to make his little sister happy.
And that was our list. Comment below and make sure to leave a big like.